Hey, Podcast America. Welcome to episode 82 of the Enlightened Neanderthals, brought to you by my company, Training Northwest, which can be found at trainingnorthwestllc.com. Currently, I have scheduled for December a beginner's rifle course centered around hunting using center fire bolt guns. And that's designed for new shooters, new hunters to come out and learn how to use the rifle correctly. And actually, the more I say that it's for new hunters and new shooters, how many seasoned hunters do you guys think can hit a 2-inch square at 100 yards with their hunting rifle?
On a rest or just old?
Laying on their belly on a bipod.
Oh.
Depends on how good they can tune in their gear.
40%?
Probably more.
Yeah. So even if you are a seasoned hunter, you could probably use a little work on your fundamentals of marksmanship. So come on out for that one on, I think it's December 17th. Today, we're talking what, Mike? World War
III, my friend.
Yeah,
and
World War III.
I feel like I came in hard, fast, and wet. Really, like a storm that rolled.
slippery.
Yeah. Kozak cyclone
his
bomb.
warm front.
Yeah, we got high pressure hitting your low pressure. But we had a lot of pressure of World War III, and I felt like I tried to scare you guys with disaster and doom and gloom because I'm thinking about it a lot. And I just laid out what I think the next 30 to 40 days could hold with World War III.
All right.
I mean, I don't know, but that's about it, right?
Yeah. Enjoy the show, you guys.
That rolled off your tongue a little too easy.
Necrophilia. Just saying on the philia words, super slow sounds creepy.
Yeah.
Well, now that we've disturbed everybody, Mike.
Necrophilia.
Yep.
World War III, boys.
World War III.
I think we should talk about World War III because I think we are closer. It's like a cake, right? You may have all the ingredients laying around, right? Your flour, your sugar, your eggs, your butter, but it doesn't become a cake until someone instigates a little flour into a little butter. Yeah. Someone has to kind of get those things happening. And I think maybe this is our generation's like Cold War or Bay of Pigs, or like this is our version of being in a Cold War. And I'll set up the parameters of why I think it, because with that hypersonic missile being used, like this is a first.
I'm
right?
sick of paying for my neighbor's cake, though.
Yeah, right. Not a good baker. But this is a first having that technology used in a war. And the whole Cold War was about like capacity and having the first strike, right? No matter what, you could get it. Well, having hypersonic missiles being used, it doesn't matter if maybe the other opponent launches first, you still have the opportunity to get your revenge or back in.
Right. So just to be clear to people who are listening, you're talking about this is the Orashink missile. Is that correct?
I think so. China's got one too, and it's like they're probably sharing technologies, right? Because they have hypersonic and
and this missile is special because of its speed.
Yeah,
correct?
Mach 10
and
is
payload,
how fast.
And it can carry a nuclear warhead.
It can carry up to like 6 or 7. So that video Jordan watched, I think it looks like Halo. It rains down a bomb here and rains down a bomb here and rains down. But they just used a weak, just throw some dynamite, show what we can do.
Yeah. And am I correct that Mach 10 is significant because no anti-missile defense system can fly that fast, so it basically outruns air defenses?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. And then it can change trajectory very quickly too.
Oh, shit.
Not only like one big arc, it can go up and then travel down and release its payload way high up.
So it's steerable.
Yes, which is weird too. Yeah. So it's even harder to get. But that ability, that kind of changes what nuclear war can be. And U.S. let us strike further, or Ukraine strike further into Russia with ICBMs, or their version of Isn't it
No,
ICBM?
no, it wasn't.
It's a
ICBM
long
was
range.
intercontinental.
Yeah,
it was
just a long range missile.
like a cruise missile or something
But
like that.
it's one that it's like, oh, there's only certain parameters they're
Right.
supposed
It
to
requires
use it to.
U.S. operators to fire the weapon system,
Yes.
and so that's why it's such a big deal. Is that we now have the United States participating in direct action against Russia.
Yeah.
Clearly trying to. It is fucking maddening how obvious it is that Biden is trying to provoke World War III on his way out, and even with. Trump signaling on social media that he wants to host peace talks immediately, not wait until his transition, which supposedly may be taking place behind closed doors. Let's hope. I think it's the British and French prime ministers vowed to continue to push like NATO aid to Ukraine, even if the U.S. backs out.
Yeah.
So the Western authoritarian regime is they're going full hell bent for leather here, trying to set this war off.
So I thought about it. It could be two ways. It's like either whatever that machine is that's driving this whole thing, it either wants to get rid of Trump, i.e. another assassination on a sloped roof, or you want to push the conflict harder and faster to get into a war state and deny transition. If nuclear war started really just happening, I bet you the government would start buttoning down the hatches and be like, hey, we can't, this is our big play. We can't transition power.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's set up for like...
That's what, what's his name, Zelensky did.
Yeah.
That's why he's still, he has surpassed his first term that he was elected for and was never reelected. He just suspended elections indefinitely.
Wasn't Bibi or Netanyahu?
No, that's the Israeli guy.
I thought he's been in for super long too, and he claimed like he
came back, and I don't know. I don't
yeah,
actually
right,
know if they have
multiple
term
like
limits. Yeah.
5 times.
He's been
and
retired.
Some of his stints for like 12 years, but I thought some of it was due to like war. Like he would like go to war with Gaza, like on the front, or declare a state of war and postpone transition of power. But
I can't answer that.
I thought it. But I think they could use that as a way to not transfer power or to keep, I don't know. It seems like there's a weird force driving these wars and like certain agenda. I've never been a big, huge conspiracy guy or like think economic forum, but it does seem like there is a super driving factor for continuing war and continuing funding this and stopping the progression of Russia. Like Russia's always been this boogeyman post Cold War or post World War II.
Do you think it's because of BRICS and because of a monetary
Done how-
challenge,
yeah,
an economic
could be.
challenge to U.S. dominance?
Yeah. Or just whoever.
That to me is the most likely explanation, is that as BRICS has come on the scene, and just in the last week, I think Russia and Iran announced that they're now trading oil in both Russian and Iranian currency, no longer U.S. dollars. So, and then I think I saw today, Trump said that he would put a 100% tariff on any BRICS country that is not trading petroleum in U.S. dollars. So already, even under the Trump administration, we're going to see some kind of economic jockeying, even if not a hot war.
Yeah. Well, and all wars are resource based. And looking at the two, it's like China and Russia play very well off of each other because they are both large land masses. They both provide tons of resources and space and coverage of the globe. But one side also provides a lot more technologies and production level. And the other side kind of provides a harvesting and supply chain, like resource base.
Yeah.
They are a perfect combination for two super countries to want to overthrow the dominance of what the U.S. is currently.
Yeah, that's a solid point. It's almost an entire continent between the two of them.
Either one of them produce their own food?
Yeah.
Yeah. China was farmers starving. That was all of what China was all until the 70s, 80s. 80s, 90s maybe. Yeah. Like the growth of China and what.
But can they feed their country?
Probably. I think they have enough land, enough resource. I think they could probably do it. Plus, they fish everywhere. You see those videos of like Chinese ships. Yeah. Oh, didn't they just break a line too?
What do you mean?
I thought it was some sort of supply cable or something. I'm screwing this up with Finland or something.
Oh,
and they
there was it a communications cable or
yeah,
another gas line?
Yeah, I think another gas line, right? They're just going left and right. But Chinese ships have drug up that stuff intentionally.
Oh,
they're
really?
thinking. And it's just, I mean, it adds to the tension of look at airspaces in Alaska where we separate with Russia and you get the jet fighters bumping into, you're doing a show of force. And it seems like there's so many little players like ticks, like little jabs. And I don't know. It seems
is it just a collection of petty tyrants who all want to feel like they're important, making little jabs at each other?
Yeah. Or just control for power, just control resources. What the U.S. was able to do after World War II was take over.
Yeah.
And it's like we did take over, but maybe we took over too much and now we're bleeding a little bit and we have to retreat back and cover our wounds and get strong again. But whenever you do that, that's a vacuum. Someone else is going to want to rise up and take over. Well,
that's part of the grift that is NATO and got us here in the first place, which is that we had committed that NATO would not move. Like the famous line is one inch further eastward, and in return, the USSR and Russia would allow Germany to reunite instead of having two countries split down the middle. What was I going to say?
Do you think if the whole world was like, this isn't the United States, this isn't China, this, like, if there was a movement for like a new nation, like the people Bulgaria could vote themselves into the new state, world state, that world country. These are bad country names. I'm sorry. But but then you got all the benefits of that area. And then if you were voted, your country, like Australia, is like, well, we want to be part of this. Now that country and Australia are pretty much the same thing.
That flew right over my head really fast. I remembered what I was going to say about NATO grift, though.
Go.
Which is that as NATO adds more member countries, they are all forced to follow NATO military guidelines, which means they have to buy all new military equipment from NATO suppliers and NATO approved parts, NATO approved calibers, NATO, you know what I mean? So it's this commonality of parts that just continuously feeds contracts into the military industrial complex. And so what we've been doing since World War II is we'll invite a new country to join NATO. They'll say, well, we don't have the money for all that military hardware. We say, no problem, we'll loan it to you so that you can buy military shit that you don't need from our military industrial contractors.
Yeah.
And then that country ends up indebted to our banks for our, you know what I mean? It's this whole money laundering scheme that has led to the pushing eastward of NATO to the point where we poked the bear.
Yeah. Well, and NATO doesn't like Trump as well.
Because he's threatening to pull us out, which he should.
Well, pull us out, but he also made other countries pay up. Yes. Remember when he threatened to bail if other countries didn't start paying and instantly billions were given, Yeah. But that's not what NATO wanted. Yeah. It seemed like.
No, fuck no. Is it?
But those things, all these little jabs and stuff, it's what and even dorks look at it. Like, what is that? The atomic clock? There's a clock and it goes all the way around. And once it hits midnight,
2 minutes to midnight.
Yeah. That's when nuclear war happens again.
Yeah.
And
I wonder what we're at right now because I think close. The Cuban Missile Crisis was 2 minutes to midnight, correct?
Yeah.
And I think that's the closest we've ever been. We've got to be right there.
I think we're right there. And if you look at this too, so once we approved Ukraine to use missiles further into Russia, this last one, and they blew up that base or that army depot, Russia retaliated using that Mach 10 missile, but they also updated their nuclear doctrine. right? And their nuclear doctrine always said that Russia would only use nuclear missiles on countries that already had nuclear missiles if they were provoked. Well, they changed that because Ukraine doesn't have nuclear missiles, and they changed it to saying we can use nuclear weapons on a unnuclear country if provoked for the safety of the country.
Yeah. Concerning.
And then you look at that too, and Russia's kind of like, well, maybe we're okay. If you look at like the jet stream and how it goes in that area, it kind of goes down through Ukraine and then wraps around the tail of Russia, but that's right at Alaska. And then that Alaska current comes down into the U.S.
Oh, good.
So we would be the ones to get the fallout.
Awesome.
And how about this?
If you thought that was fantastic.
Yeah.
Also, and people, I think Tulsi's spoken on this, but between Russia and Ukraine on the Ukrainian side is tons of bioweapon research facilities.
Yes.
You know, the same type of things that probably COVID.
These were the labs that NIH was using contracts to perform gain of function research.
So now it's like, all right, so you're tearing, if you put nukes in this area or like start to where this country is the first one that crumbles, because everyone, if this really goes off and they do a nuke and it's like, well, NATO's like, we would respond too, they're going to be where these soldiers are in this front line. And that's going to be where the theater of Europe blows up from there out. Yeah. But immediately those labs are getting hit. And so you have to think, it's like, well, you'll probably have soldiers doing cleanup or be exposed. And if you have crazy new, like a COVID, it's going to spread too. So I think World War III would not only be nuclear, but it would be disease ridden too.
I guess I was hoping I was hoping the nuclear fireball would kill all the biohazards in the research lab.
Do you think it would?
I don't know. It
Depends
on how
if
deep
it's,
that bunker's built.
Jiminy Cricket.
But it depends if it's like, okay, maybe they bomb the lab itself and the bomb just obliterates. Everything's just flash dead.
Yeah.
Or it's maybe 10 miles away and it blows that whole area over, doesn't engulf it in flames and stuff. And now you've got leaked area and you got people walking around and now you got
after a nuclear blast.
I would.
You'll have survivors though still and people trying to escape. But people are like deer. Show me one spot in the mountains that doesn't have tracks somewhere. Eventually you'll get someone.
Yeah, good gravy.
But
that's a scary, scary, scary thought.
Oh,
world peace, dude.
Yeah.
But it's like, is this group willing? Like, is whatever kind of this weird momentum going that there is a power struggle? How far would they take it? Would they push that bear so far that he uses nukes to be like, we're in war, you can't be president, or now we have to crazy respond?
Yeah.
Would they kill a president to stop what their vision is?
It's fascinating.
Oh, yeah.
Hang on.
Yeah. Have they? Yeah.
It's fascinating to think of the mindset of these people who understanding that the cost is potentially millions of non-combatant lives, and they're still willing to make these moves.
Yeah.
And we all tolerate it. And we allow them to stay in their positions of authority. And just feel, it's like, boy, I hope they don't poke at each other until somebody fires a nuke.
Yeah, no shit.
Yeah, but I think a lot of people want to be king of the trailer park rather than peasant at the country club. You know, it's power. It's what people want, that greediness, that control factor, that achieving money, that taking and stepping on someone to get past them in life. You have mega people like they are this to the nth degree where they just achieve. We all hang out with achievers and stuff, right? But some political or world, yeah, not at this table, but we know some achievers and they work really hard and they get shit done and they make good money. But then there's people that want to change the world and keep going past that. They get tastes of it and they're able to get more and more influence. I think it can build, but I think our country has been maybe in post World War II. I always say it, how much money was made in the United States post. I mean, that has to set up the structure of what the United States' blueprint will be like 50 years from then, which kind of brings us to the 2000s. And it's like we saw all this more war, and it's gotten us nowhere. And it's just provoked things too, where we've gotten to a point where this idea that we're going to rule the world through CIA and through campaigning of governments or political leaders and pushing them and propagating and making who we want to line up with our views and our companies and what gives us money and who we can shoot at when they try and stop that. I think it's driven the world so far like apart, or not apart, but mad at the United States that eventually someone is going to snap and bite back. Like a wolf pack, you got a big alpha and he's nipping at everyone, but eventually there's going to be a wolf that bites back. And I feel maybe we're at that point, but we still think we're the alpha.
It's kind of like a worldwide tipping point. Because I saw there are this morning uprisings in both Syria and Georgia, the country, not the state. But it's like,
I saw those videos where they're shooting the
fireworks
at
president
them.
Just get, or their commissioner.
They just had an election, and it was fraught with
threw a bunch of paint
misinformation, fake news.
So it's like the whole world is going through this turmoil, and it's going to be interesting. Like we are living through some period of history, obviously, but like a interesting period of history.
It sucks when it's happening, but it's nice to look back at it like 10 years down the road, like how it really happened. Like 9/11, you're like, oh, it's crazy, it's this, it's that. But then 10 years later, you kind of look back and you see why it happened and how it happened, the response of it. And then 10 years later, you look back.
You get to look at the Halliburton contract 10 years later and go, oh, now it makes sense.
So it's interesting to think like this is a point in time in history, and it's like I don't quite get it, but hopefully in 10 years I'm not atomic and glowing green. I can look back and be like, that's why it was. But it does seem fraught with unknown. And I feel like we are so close to nuclear war, but no one fucking cares. Like back in the Cuban Missile Crisis, like there was not like past 8, everything turned off on the TV. So they're just like, the missiles are coming. Now you can lay in bed and just scroll and your mind's completely occupied with something else that you don't care about.
I think people are just desensitized to wild shit coming across their feed. So even when it's something like this, like, hey, we are on the precipice of nuclear war. People are like, they read it and they're like, next.
Yeah. I don't know. But maybe, I don't know. People don't talk about nuclear war a lot. You know, it's just like, and it's this thing that's so looming so much. And it's like, maybe everyone's just got fatigue from having COVID and like life changing and things being weird and economy that they're just like, nukes. I don't care about nukes. I'm trying to fucking make my car payment in my apartment or my mortgage, or I'm trying to send a kid to college. Well, I don't know. Okay. Well, maybe, or to medical school, you know, something that it's just, I don't have this time to focus on it.
Well, it's a negative thing to focus on in your day to day. And the reality is we can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
We have allowed the players, like Tobin was saying, to do what they want to do, and the only way to stop them is a massive uprising of capable human beings.
But everyone
that are peasants right now.
Yeah, I saw a good meme that said the class war was started to keep you from noticing, what was the word for it? Basically, that the real war is between the elitists and the rest of the population.
The have and the have not.
Yeah. It's becoming like a global oligarchy almost.
But that's been so much a philosophy through the past, too. Like, if you look at Marxism, like, the Communist Manifesto was just about people, the managers with tons of money and the workers with not a lot of money. And it's like, that's always going to be a narrative. That is also, I think, that's why I do think the idea of a free market, of a capitalist, where it's like the best product usually gets the most amount of money, thrown at it because people want the best thing. I do think it represents like nature. If you suck, if you're a weak, dying, sick elk, you're not going to live. Or you're a weak, shitty, dying slipper, you're not going to live.
I think we kind of killed true capitalism, though, with advantages given through like lobbying, right? You can kind of control who gets what contract, and it doesn't necessarily mean that. So it's not true competition.
No.
It's a competition of who can pull off a better bribe scheme, basically.
Diversity and inclusion, equity, and all that shit.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. I don't know, but people don't think about it. Yeah. I don't know. It seems like there's so much crap just going on. And then with the election thing too, it's also like you said, it seems like there are deals being made with Trump. And it's like, ooh, if this is really happening where the new regime coming in is trying to make headway to stop it, how far does the other side push back? Like, we've already lost, so let's fucking wreck their party. You ever get kicked out of a party and it's someone you don't like? I've never been kicked out of a party. I'm just trying to relate with you guys. But you're like, fuck that. I'm going to trash this place on my way out.
Yeah, let's go.
I've never.
But it's scary because they're pushing it so far.
Yeah, that's another thought, is that this globalist authoritarian push. It's kind of like this is their last chance. They've been exposed a little bit, and now it's now or never. So I think they're pulling out all the stops.
Do you guys think that, because it does feel like we have a bit of an Avenger kind of a deal going with the current, or not the current administration, but the incoming administration? Do you think that they're actually making pushes to stop that from happening?
Stop war?
Stop war, yeah.
Yeah, I do think it seems like they're listening more, trying to start communication. Like, Biden doesn't talk. I don't know what he has. How many days? Like maybe 40 or something, or 30, or what are we at?
50 or so.
Okay, so it's like he's got that long. It's like, well, it'd be nice to have him tell us what's kind of going on,
Yeah,
and
a
it's
little
like
state of
silence. And so it's like, well, I don't really know who's kind of in charge. I've always said that about presidents. It's like, I don't really
we haven't
think
heard
they
from
run
the
it.
president or the vice president. That's a good point. And the funny thing is people don't even notice because they don't expect it. Like, why would we hear from Joe Biden during a national crisis?
Yeah. And Ellen's moving to Europe. The rich are fleeing.
Oh, no. She's following through on her promise. What will we do?
It would be crazy if you started seeing the rich and the elites fleeing. Like, everyone's like, oh, Christmas is gone. I'm going, to Papua New Guinea.
Yeah, where they all end up
hide
going.
out.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, this conflict between U.S. and Russia just
gets
goes
saucy.
off.
Huh.
I wonder if it was just announced today or yesterday that Kash Patel will be the new director of the FBI, and he has he said he's going to declassify a whole lot of shit. I wonder how many people will move out of the country based on that. That will be interesting to see how many celebrities and sort of people of influence move to non-extradition countries as the incoming Trump administration approaches.
I would be very interested to see what he does. I haven't gotten a chance to listen to his full episode on Sean Ryan, but I'm very curious. I'm going to have to give that a listen. I thought we were disbanding all those. I thought that was what the plan was.
Yeah, so did I.
But now there's a new appointee.
But there's new directors of them. That's a solid point.
Yeah, so that kind of bums me out a little bit.
The other thing about nuclear war.
Oh.
Or World War III, boys.
Yes, please.
Is let's just bring in an unknown factor. And it's something I do find kind of interesting which is UFOs, right?
Mm-hmm.
And back in the day, I think it was probably a lot more possibility for swamp gas or meteors or your what have you and have-nots, reflections, mists, light, angles, color spectrum, you name it, probably explained a lot. But as technology got better and you start getting man-made vehicles in the air and then in space, it brings up the ability for it to be like, oh, maybe UFO or something is more man-made or something. And if you're kind of a UFO junkie, you'll know that currently there's a lot more activity in the sky of things that are kind of unexplained, visually unexplained on radar, movements, patterns of travel. And it seems that there's something else kind of flying around or going on up in the skies. Mm-hmm. And I can't, do I think intelligent life exists? Yes, of course. I think there's other life in the universe. Do I think what is happening around us is aliens? Not necessarily. I don't, maybe whatever government in the past found UFOs, back engineered them, has had some crazy propulsion or theoretics like experiment that had success. Maybe it is a government does have access to a form of propulsion or travel that we, the common citizen or other countries, don't know about. Seeing these unexplained things, it would be crazy if World War III happened and they were a man-made technology, because their ways of travel, it doesn't matter about hypersonic anything. It's like, oh, go get the president of this country, grab him, put him in the spaceship, and now you got him, right? You can do anything. You can use it to plant a bomb, to get information. So it's like, if World War III happens and what's kind of going on in the skies is a man-made technology, I feel like whoever owns that has the ability to just run the world. That's the country that prevails. But say they are aliens, and I think it would be a crazy tourist destination to be like, hey, you ever go to Earth around 2025? They are just launching nukes. Let's just grab popcorn and some beer. We'll hover around at about 100,000 feet, zoom in for some close shit, you know? Go see a world go fight itself. But it's like, I think there's probably, if there's other intelligent life in the world, then other worlds are having interworldly.
The problem with that is,
battle.
you know how hard it is not to intervene with an ant colony fighting. You know how hard it is.
Get a magnifying glass.
You know what I mean? If I'm that alien, I'm going,
hey, drop a
check
grasshopper
this
in
out,
there.
dude. Check this out.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
Try out that new hunting rifle.
Yeah, no doubt. I'm putting a blue tarp on my roof. I'll tell you that.
I took out a borax and quadrilyndrium. Some crazy gun, dude.
Hand me one of those black cats.
Yeah.
I'm gonna blow this fucking thing sky high.
But there is crazy stuff going on in the skies that have been kind of unexplained lately.
Yeah, that orb or whatever that flew across.
Oh, Tic Tac flying. Yeah, Jordan's not buying it.
It's, you know,
Yeah. So,
I guess I'm just so numb to it all because it's like,
what do you believe and what do you not anymore?
release the tapes, you know? It's so easy to like fake stuff on with the technology we have. Like, I can't trust my eyes either. Unless I see it off of a screen, you can go fuck yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't watch something and be like, oh, that's real. That's not altered by any, I mean, editing, they edit everything. But like the ability to like have CGI that's just getting to be ridiculous is too much for me. So it's really hard for me to like get into any of that. So I just kind of just go with what I see. And
CGI, it's super easy to fake like military film because it all sucks.
it's all blurry.
Yeah.
Yeah, you mean to tell me
It cost us $1 billion to develop the AI software for this to make fake blur.
Yeah, when were we supposed to put a man on the moon and this is the same camera? What the fuck? Like, nothing's gone into it.
I don't know. I think something's moving around in the skies. Weird.
Yeah, sure. I would
So
agree
then
with
it's
that,
like,
but
do you
we
think
also
it's
got a bunch
aliens?
of weird shit going on.
Do you think it's
we got
aliens?
SpaceX doing their thing. There's more space stuff going on that we've put up there now than ever before, right? Like
Satellites.
You mean trash and
satellites,
shit?
trash, fucking
Yeah, but it defies the laws of our
Starlink.
knowing.
Starlink. I was just
Yeah.
But those things, we all know how they orient around the globe, right? It's all trajectory. When you have something that has the ability to move up, down, left, right,
show
with
me,
no propulsion.
show me, but don't show me on a fucking screen, and then I'll believe it.
Yeah, but you need everything on screen.
Do we? I
A
can't.
little bit.
Not my belief.
Yeah, but they have radar footage or tracking too.
I don't
Like
give a shit.
they confirmed them, and
It's almost easier. It's almost easier to do that.
who confirmed them?
Didn't they do a Senate hearing and they all testified?
They were like, there are UFOs.
Graves, Dennis Graver, that pilot,
I
and
know
all
what you're saying.
those stuff.
So you're talking about the hearing on the UAPs.
Yeah. And they did announce, they're like, yes, we have life of unknown origins or something. You know, they gave some bullshit thing, but it's like,
Dude, you know how many aliens we have in this country? Like, it's
from space.
Sooner or later, you're gonna run into one of them.
yeah. Come on, man.
Do you think there's like galactic racism, like in the universe?
Those fucking Martians.
100%, dude.
Ain't nobody like them.
Yeah.
We're gonna build an asteroid belt.
And they're gonna pay for it.
Pay for that shit.
Oh shit.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I just have such a hard time like believing any of the media stuff. I just got to focus on your day to day, dude.
I was actually thinking
Yeah, but
about
then
that
that's
today.
not focusing on nukes, is focusing on your day to day.
But that's you know what? What's nuclear in my life is getting some shit done that's pretty basic to other people. Like that's the biggest part of my day.
Yeah.
Like a nuke going off in Russia, like yeah, that's gonna fucking suck. A nuke going off in the U.S., that's really gonna suck. But I still need to fucking clean out my chicken coop. You know what I mean? Like I got to focus on other shit.
Yeah.
So it's tough. Like my biggest part of World War III, like if something happens, what is our role?
Oh, good.
I mean, are we just standing by going, "Oh, get the popcorn out. This is crazy," or are we fighting people in the U.S.? Are we getting sent to? I don't know what would happen.
It does
You know,
seem like
it's the
for an
unknown.
invasion or to fight another country, this is a particular time when a civil war or like turning on a country on itself is much easier to do than going, like we've always said it, like invading and stuff, like boots on the ground. It's like eventually you do have to get people there. Right? You're going to need resources and administration and security. And like if you're occupying a country, but let them fuck themselves over for a little bit, you know, either get them to civil war it.
That's kind of more what I think would happen.
Yeah.
I think there would definitely be like, because I mean, look, you're gonna have people who agree with the U.S. the allowing Ukraine to push further into Russia. You're gonna agree. There's gonna be people who are all for it, and there's going to be people who are staunchly against it. And at some point, I think that's going to come to a head in the town near you. I think there's going to be a lot of inner fighting going on, and I think it might get a little bit heated.
Say it was,
Especially if nukes could start dropping and people are starting to get like nuclear fallout. Oh, my buddy up in freaking, Canada is getting washed with this radiation that you agree with.
I'm sterile.
You know what I mean? Like there's going to be some shit that comes with that because it's going to go past like emotions of like, I know a guy who's like, no, I know a country right north of us. I know a bunch of people in Alaska that are getting fucked. I know a bunch of wildlife that's getting fucked by all this. Yeah. And you're telling me it's a good thing? I'm going to have a hard time not cracking somebody in the fucking jaw. And that's where it starts.
So say it's Russia and China, and this heats up and we do an offensive, and that's what it pairs off being, is Russia and China taking all of Europe and all that area, and we're taking the Americas, and that's the war, right? Mm-hmm. Say they blast us with some nukes and we blast them with some nukes. Each state gets a couple nukes and divvied out. We're at full out war, and it's like we're not turning on each other. If that's kind of how it's going, would you focus on your life? Like your nuclear war is finding a safe area in the United States, your family or your friends, or just trying to carve out a little something? Or are you going in World War II style? You got your sailor uniform on and they're shipping you out.
Merchant Marine.
Yeah, you're marching up that ramp, dude. You got your backpack on. It's Kafaru, of course.
I think, yeah.
Hang on. Do you get issued a Kafaru bag?
No, they can't keep up with the man now.
It is a U.S. based company.
Yeah, it is Berry compliant, so they could if they wanted, but no, they wouldn't give you cool shit like that. The one of the head guys, Aaron Snyder, he's no longer with them. He stepped away anyway. Not a big deal. Side track. The thought of that, of like leaving the country to go fight a war that I absolutely don't agree with, when a war is happening in my own country.
But say they nuked us and it's not a civil war. Like it rallied the United States.
Do you think human soldiers are even relevant anymore in this era of drone swarms?
You seen that robot ripping through the woods? It's got 4 wheels on it, and it stands up, and then it falls and like lands on all fours and keeps cruising. It's like,
yeah, but enough. Everything would have to be hardened.
Up.
Like if it did keep going nuclear, it's like, yeah, if you're using strategic nuclear, you're probably using like atmospheric to blast, and so you can have area that's still semi-habitable. But you're going to be doing a lot of EMP damage and frying electronics.
I'm probably going because Netflix is going to be out. You know what I mean? Like
ain't got
my
shit else to do.
Xfinity is going to take a hit, and somebody's going to have to fucking answer.
Chandra, cuddle the dog for a while. I got to defeat the Japanese.
Yeah, I'll be back.
Or the Chinese, sorry.
Yeah, easy.
World War II coming out of me. Pellaloo. Here I come, Sludge.
Yeah, coming for you. No, I. What's the age that they send people anymore?
I hate to tell you, buddy, but you're no longer desired by Uncle Sam.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but if it was full on nuclear like that,
two knees that are fucked up.
You're probably gonna have population like
dropping
food supply, population.
Listen,
death.
if you two get drafted, you're going to be passing out donuts to the real soldiers who are coming in and out of the airport.
Yeah. Let's go, buddy. Hey, these are the hard body boys.
Do you
look
work out?
Look at them go.
You must do push-ups.
I'll be like,
dude, take your shirts off.
Yeah,
my name's
in 2008, I would have fucked you up. What? Yeah, that's right. Keep walking, jackass. And you're like, oh. Yeah.
But would you join then? Like to go fight?
Probably not. I mean, it depends on. It depends.
It's our livelihood. Like,
it?
What if there was no?
Is it, or do limit? I get fucking 4 weeks left with my family?
But I don't know. You never know. What if there's a chance to win?
Maybe there is. Is it gonna be me?
Maybe.
Am I the one?
Maybe you're the missing link.
I'm the what's the Jordan? What do they call that?
You're John Connor, buddy.
Yeah, and at that point, no, because there's got to be a second movie.
I was just going to say, it's like a Rudy story where the kid who everybody thought was a little slow and he went to like the special classes and whatnot, but then turned out he's a military strategic savant.
Yeah.
He leads us to victory in World War III and then goes back to
fucking shining
golf balls.
All right. How about this? Jordan, you wake up.
Yeah.
Early in the morning.
Early.
Take Watson.
Yep.
You're like, I'm going out to the potholes to go duck hunting.
Yep. Gotcha.
You leave at like 3 in the morning, 2 in the morning. You go up there.
Where are we stopping first?
Arco.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Big ass and
coffee.
Arco coffee, only the finest.
Yeah, and a pizza stick.
Yeah. Take a poop quick boom boom in the bathroom. Yeah. And then
drink my Red Bull. Then we pull to where?
Chick-fil-A. No, they're not open.
It's too early for that.
McDonald's for a sausage.
We're going to stop and get some coffee. A little smut hut, maybe. I don't know. No, I would never. I don't do that.
Check out my dog. Isn't he cute?
Yeah, he wants a biscuit. Yeah. Oh my God. No, so then we're driving over the pass. We get there. Now what?
Smut hut on the other side.
Yeah.
Need a biscuit? No. So you're over there and you go duck hunting.
Yep.
And about 11 o'clock, all of a sudden the birds start flying and the clouds look kind of weird. And you feel a big, you get hit with a shock wave.
Yeah.
You're like, what was that?
You ducking underwater and counting to 30?
No, not at all, dude. It's too cold for that.
So you get hit and then all of a sudden you hear radio chatter because you got a radio on you. Say you're listening to the football game on the radio and it gets all distorted.
Yeah, the local football game. You've seen how those high school kids are doing.
People do that still.
Let's go Spartans. Yeah. So
the Moses Lake War Chiefs.
So you're trying to tune back in, right? And you start to pick up static and it's like the whole Seattle
West Coast
metropolitan area has been struck with tactical nuclear devices.
Oh, thank God. That was so much easier than fucking flinging these people one by one out into the sound.
Yeah.
But now, Jordan, all of a sudden it hits you. Tobin's dead. Chandra's dead.
Yeah.
Most of all, Mike's dead. And now you're starting to tear up with that shotgun in your hand and you grip it even harder.
Yeah, and I'm like,
and you go.
And I go, fetch. And then as Watson's out there, I start thinking, who am I going to cook these ducks for?
No way. But everyone's dead. Your whole family, everyone, your place is gone. Are you not going to go avenge us and fight for
No
us?
limit today.
No, like at that point, it's like, well, where do I go?
You go recruiter office.
I'm going.
That survived the blast. The
The
strip mall down on 99 survived the blast, and the recruiting station's still there.
He's east of the mountain. The blast didn't hit there.
Yeah, it
only
didn't go over the top,
wave.
just the shock wave. So yeah, so I'm driving east. Then I'm heading to Idaho. I'm gonna stop at a smut hut, and then and then I'm.
You like my dog?
Yeah.
Go New Biscuit.
Yeah, he just retrieved a bunch of duck. Good boy. And
bunch of duck feathers just all over your car. What's up?
He's a bit of a provider.
Do you want some duck?
Yeah, quack quack. Yeah, I think
you're gonna go fight for us.
That, yeah, obviously.
You need to avenge my dad.
At that point, yeah. I mean, if it comes to a point of that where it's like everybody I care about is gone, like, of course. Yeah. Like, what else am I gonna do?
Yeah,
I'm probably gonna start just capping people around here that I don't agree with. I mean, honestly, I'm gonna be a domestic terrorist, probably. I don't know.
You just go rogue. Jordan goes insane.
I mean, that's honestly that's
anything
almost
goes for the next 5 months.
That's almost the war that needs to get fought. Is just going and go down your list of people that need gotten or getting and go get them.
Dude, you're going to be like the ghost post World War III that like haunts duck hunting areas. Like, yeah, you went rogue. The nukes went and you lost it, dude. You're going to
I think there's a lot of people that would just lose it completely.
Yeah.
And if that hit America, America is just a different
So now we're fighting the group then. Now America's rallied and we're fighting China and we're fighting Russia. Are you sailing away?
I'll sail away, but the thing is like, what am I sailing away for? I gotta sit here.
You guys hitting the beach at fucking Peleliu again? Or what's going on here?
The problem is like, what is my
what's your mission?
Ability, right? Like, what do they want me to fly some fucking RCs?
Dude, you can peel a potato. Dude, you need everything in the military.
Yeah,
they need someone that can weld. They need electricians.
Yeah.
You could be tying missile wires together.
Yeah, I'd be doing that.
You're networking computers.
That's exactly what I'd be doing, dude.
For the resistance.
Yeah, dude, you got to keep them fucking loose out there.
Out in the trenches.
Yeah. Backed up boys. You don't have any backed up boys out there.
Dude, the foxhole is a good name for a porno.
Yeah, the trenches. What?
Yeah. Wenches and trenches.
Yeah, I think I'd go at that point.
If
but
everyone-
dude, if I'm
yeah.
out there and it's like, hey, technically now no seasons are, there's no gamies out here holding me back. You know what I mean? I could have some serious hunting could be happening.
With your fallout deer.
Yeah, dude, get them while the getting's good. Yeah, I think
Like if that was me and that happened and all you guys are gone, my family and everyone, it's like
you're just going straight to a recruiter's office. Yeah,
I have nothing else to live for. Like
yeah, teach me. I just need to know how to get this chopper up. I don't need to know how to land.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
at
that's
that
where
point,
I'd be.
yeah.
That's where I'd be, and there'd be a lot of people like that. And that's what I'm saying. Like if you did that to America doesn't know how to deal with that. Whereas
No, they
you
would.
were talking. No, but
They would, because
not the same. It's not the same because there are people who deal with death on a daily basis in other countries as part of life. Like, and I know that sounds weird, but like, oh, you killed my son. I need you to give me $50. Mm-hmm. And that's a reality in other parts of the world. And in America, the devastation someone feels, they're not thinking about anything but I lost my son. Yeah. Not how am I going to monetarily benefit from this? Life is more, I think in like Western culture, we put a lot more on the value of an individual's like who they are, who they were, like just the thought and like the spirit behind somebody, not, oh, I just need to get paid for this to make things right. You wronged me and this is how we make things right. Like that's not how, like Americans are like fucking vindictive fuckers that want to just get even. Right. No. And the emotion behind it would be so strong. And that's why I think we wouldn't handle it the same way other countries that are maybe a little bit more used to that kind of bloodshed would handle things.
Do you think they'd get nuked and they'd turn the other cheek? They go all Jesus on you?
Who's that?
Like if like other countries that are used to that more, like death and having that around them, do you think they're more likely to get nuked and allow it to happen without retaliation?
I think
they're
that'd
full
be
Jesus.
Well, I don't think that I see what you're saying. No, I think they'd still want revenge, but I don't think that it would be like, hey, you know what? Oh, let's go to the nearest recruiting office and sign up because that's how we do this. They're like, well, if I ever see one of these guys, I vow to kill him, or I'm going to try and, hijack a plane. You know what I mean? Like that's the kind of stuff that's happening. It's not like but that's also Western world. Like we have armies that like.
Yeah, but revenge is a topic that's been written throughout history.
Yeah,
and that is the ultimate revenge. You take
yeah,
my
but I guess
family
what I'm saying
member,
is,
I take one of your family members.
I've never seen I couldn't tell you what another military outfit looks like. I've never seen it in real life. I've never seen anybody in military garb in the U.S. besides military citizens.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? And other countries are fucking pretty positive what we look like. You know what I'm saying? So there's a big difference between like what other countries are used to and what we're used to. And I don't know how we would react as spiritually or like as a whole. How do you get back into the fight at that point? Like what is the fight?
I think there has to be
sign up and go over there and start getting after it.
Yeah.
Well, I got no problem
bodies.
with that, but I don't see where. I guess I'm saying is we would fight, but they would fight, but they wouldn't go to their recruiting office because they just fight. Yeah. It's like because we're coming to them, they're not coming here. I'm waiting for people to come here. I want to fight that fight. If people are coming here, fucking great. I don't need to go to a recruiting office. I need to go to Home Depot and fucking stop at Cabela's.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna go down swinging with a 300 rim mag.
So then say the front line was
Marysville.
no,
yeah. Now we're talking different shit. At that point, it's like
no. Say it's
Hit the taco time.
southern,
those.
they took over Mexico and they're fighting the southern border. They're coming up through the southern border.
Okay.
Are you going down?
To the southern border?
Yeah.
Oh, they're already here.
Yeah, but in this situation, this scenario,
I'm gonna go to the. I'm gonna do whatever I can.
Are you gonna?
I'm going to do whatever I can. If they blew up the Western Washington, I'll be like, nice work, but my friends were over there.
No.
And then it's like, what do you got to do? You're gonna do what you got to do. But it'd be weird to like want to rally without your homies. It's like I'll avenge their death, but it's like the way I want to fight is not gonna be morally correct.
Yeah, but I think that's part of war.
Yeah.
If you're at World War III, there's gonna be some ridiculousness.
I mean, what are you gonna do?
If all you guys get killed?
Yeah, we get killed in Western Washington. You were out.
on
some weird goose hunt with some dude named Bill.
Pedro.
I gave him a biscuit.
Yeah.
Francisco. I was duck hunting with Francisco.
Soft skin.
I said swan.
If that happens to me, right? Like I said, I'm joining the fight. Because
But what is the fight? What does that look like? Are we getting invaded?
Going to China.
Okay, so you're going
we're
to China.
going to China. We're bringing.
This guy,
we're going.
He loves.
You see him with a canoe down there at the dock. Here we go, motherfucker.
Yeah. If I start rowing now, I'll be there in about a week and a half.
Got a bunch of MREs.
Yeah, a bunch of Mountain House. He's just heading out. He's like, boys, I'm coming for you.
You guys got any extra jet oil canisters?
Yeah, I might need a couple. Current's kind of strong.
Little long stick for the seagulls.
No, I need a stick-beating stick.
No, dude, I'm joining because if they're nuking us, we're probably nuking them. There's going to be a front line. No. And just like in World War II style, it's like the Nazis weren't defeated until they went to, what's that capital where you have to be a Nazi to live there?
Wait, what?
In Germany, in World War II. One of the last places where Hitler's bunker
Eagle's Nest?
was. Yeah, where was his bunker? What is that area? But to live in that town, you had to be a Nazi.
Yeah.
Right? It's like Edelweiss all the way.
Oh, I think that is what it was
wild.
called.
Was it Edel? No, that's the flower.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh, the Eagles. Hitler's
Eagle's
lair
Nest.
was freaking like Dr. Evil. I think they made all of those things off of kind of like what his lair was. It was fucking nuts, man. Crazy nuts. And the town was beautiful, but you had to be
of course it was.
Oh, dude. But you had to be a Nazi.
Everybody was dressed up in fucking tailored fucking suits all the time.
Kill them all, brother.
Jesus. Yeah, that's
Bunch of
wild.
Nazis. Yeah, dude. Do you think Nazi talk was weird in a small town like that? Just like you're at the butcher, you're getting like at the bagel shop. No, probably no bagel shops in the Nazi.
I was gonna say, they'd be saying goofy. Hey, you got any locks?
Hey, I can't find a deli anywhere.
Yeah. You guys got a schmear around here?
Yeah. Like, this kosher?
Get that fucker. So stupid.
Oh my gosh, the Nazi run bagel shop.
With rye, and rye.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, the bunker, dude. The Eagle's Nest. Is that what it was called?
I don't know. Let's take a pee break.
I was going to say we should
Google
tell Brent not to say that anymore. Pee break.
And we're back. Not quite as laughy as we
animated
were before. That's okay.
It's hard to come back from Nazi bagel.
Yeah, Nazi bagels.
I do think it is a good name for like a cart. like a little bagel cart, Nazi bagel, Auschwitz and cream.
Yeah, but you'd have to hide the Nazi part.
Just got the logo blatantly spray painted all over the side of your car.
Just a bagel.
It's gonna hurt a bit. Yeah,
a bagel with a cut in it.
Dude, a bagel is a Nazi symbol. Yeah, so it's not round. Yeah.
And we're back.
Yeah,
Nazi bagel.
a lot of kraut on that bagel.
I don't even know how. Oh, talking about that town, the Eagles Nest.
And what was it called?
Berchtesgaden.
Berchtesgaden.
Just rolls off the town. What a beautiful language.
Yeah.
Berchtesgaden.
Man.
Oh, man. Quit talking.
I had a buddy who his dad went to college with this big German dude who would wear military boots and go running around the track all the time, and he would be singing German music like as he ran around the track. And he was like, he sounded so angry. But it was like some anthem of like, you know, like how pretty the lands are. And like, he was like,
I know whenever like a hot, sexy girl in a movie, like talking dirty, it's always like a Spanish or a French accent.
Oh, yeah.
You know, some harsh German chick yelling at you
Eastern
to take
Bloc
your
bitch.
pants off.
What's Dr. Evil's girlfriend? Frau Farbissna?
Yeah, dude. Scott! That yelling at you.
oh man, that's why we have to win.
Yep. That's it right there. That's it.
Yeah. So, okay. So you're jumping, you're fighting for us. You're going to go down you're going to go down to the southern border.
Southern border, like if it's on our front,
You're avenging your boys.
I'm running down there. If it's like us versus China and Russia, I'm enlisting, because at that point, if they're like bombing the shit out of us and we're fighting back, it's like civilization is going to crumble a little bit. You're going to have deaths. Civilian casualties are always the biggest thing. You're going to have disease. You're going to have supply and resource issues. The whole system is going to be frayed, but it's like even if we find a way to live in this area and sustain off the land, there's someone else out there that still hates us. Yeah. Like if it's World War III, it's going to be that mentality of Japan.
I think we're past that shit though. I really don't think we're like, if somebody wants to fight, we'll fight. But the reality is like, I got nothing against you. We're being controlled.
Yeah, exactly. If you put us in a room with other middle-aged Russian middle-class guys, inside of 3 hours, we're shooting vodka together and having a few laughs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but once again, that's all.
The tensions
wars.
are going to die
not
down.
The people. It's
everybody's going to fucking finally show their dick.
But it's the leadership. Like you have to. World War II ended with the Japanese because the king said, "I'm done. This is over. No more." Like, and then he got all the generals in the army to say, "We're done too." Right? It takes
except that one that was hiding. Right? Wasn't there one hiding in the?
There's probably a bunch of hiding.
And then they didn't know for years and years and years.
You mean like the guys on the island?
They didn't come out till like the 1980s or 1990s or something like that.
Fucking America!
I just like lost so many years of your life.
Dude, that is a crazy story. Those guys that they find, 30, 40 years later, it's like the war's over, but
they still hold up.
They got dropped off there when they were 20, and now they're like in their 40s or 50s.
Yeah.
They Tom Hanks like was that
Castaway? Yeah, Castaway. Yeah, with no Wilson, dude.
I know. At least he had supplies from that plane. It's like, what do you have some cachet of like grenades and bayonets and like what? Like you survived
1984.
Yeah, because it's not like you make it 30 years off of one knife. Could you imagine like you fell off a boat and you washed up on an island in 30
There's
years?
some pretty good knives out right now.
Gonna get Jordan upset.
But that's World War II, and there's remnants years later. How many years? 30 years later. And mentally, some guy is still in the fight. Like there are lingering effects from war, whether it's emotional, physical, or like people are still in it when it's actually over. Yeah. The effects World War III would be even more, like, I have to think it could be part invasion here. It could be disrupting our society.
See, that's a different thing
there.
entirely, right? Like, I think that's what it would take, I think, is like,
but you're trying to
you
shut
have to
down
come
their
here.
leadership, just like taking over Hitler.
But I want to shut down
had to
my
go
leadership.
kill the leaders in the bunkers. You had to go take down the leadership.
Yeah.
Otherwise, someone's still yelling and giving orders.
Yeah, I mean, but like to what Tobin's saying, it's all fought with a fucking RC controller. Like the wars, that's how the wars are being fought. Like it's a kid with an Xbox controller just getting after it. And Ender's Game, or not Ender's Game, what was that? War Game, that 1980s. Like, I mean, that's where we're getting. Kind of was they were trying to tell us something.
Was the last Olympics in China? Where's the last Olympics? I know. Didn't we just have Olympics?
Yeah, but I didn't pay any attention
just
because it was all about
an Australian dance. Got me fucked up.
Break dancing. Men competing as women, dogs and cats living together.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
But like, you see some of those events, and those guys have those huge guns for shooting down drones.
Yeah.
Like a big EMP gun.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you're gonna have. Remember in World War II, they would have those Jeeps that drive up with the rockets on the back.
That'll be the new clay pigeon. Trap shooting is shooting EMP
drones.
pulses at drones.
Yeah, but have one of those, like a giant version and a satellite dish antenna, you know, and it's strapped on the back of your Toyota Cruiser.
I just saw a gun where the guy, it was like a drone on the tip of this like launch gun, and he kind of got linked up with the drone that he was trying to hit, and then it just turned it on, and then this freaking drone shoots out of the end of his gun and catches up to the other one and knocks it out of the sky. I was like, holy shit, that was cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I couldn't figure out what the hell it was or where I could get it.
It's like a drone hunting drone.
Yeah, it was cool. I mean, that is more where we're heading, right? Like that's, you know, guns are going to be obsolete because we're not going to be fighting.
The human soldier is obsolete with a drone swarm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With these knees?
Yeah.
Fuck. Yeah. Been obsolete for a while.
So some of those videos where China has recently been demonstrating all their drone swarms, have you seen these?
Mm-hmm. So scary.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's a scary deal.
You see how much is being used in Ukraine with the drone, and it's like the hypersonic missiles are being used. And it's like these firsts that have never been used in warfare are starting to be, I mean, we had drones, but not kind of like like we would have a drone in the sky, either spotting,
running a video
or
camera
shooting
from,
a couple
40,000 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't have little guys that would
Individual-
go into a
hand grenade,
trench.
yeah.
They're
Self-destructor.
literally taking like, you know, commercial, you know, available drones and modifying them.
Yeah.
Like I've been looking on how to build those, and you can build them for extremely cheap.
Yeah. So far, I have the drones. Sourcing the hand grenades has been tough.
Yeah, that's the issue. Yeah. Yeah. But I can build it.
What, a drone?
The grenade.
Or a hand grenade. Couple coconuts.
Yeah. A couple coconuts, little duct
like that
tape,
Japanese
and some
soldier.
chewing gum.
Yeah. Homemade grenade.
Good luck.
Yeah. But all these firsts keep getting unveiled. And it's like, well, what else is going to be a first out of this situation? This is such a minor little war, like in the aspect of all wars and stuff. But it's like it's starting to get big with casualties, and it's also starting to unveil new weapons being used, and it's changing treaties and doctrine and trade alliances. And it's like,
so is it that little?
Yes.
No, what started? It started over a base.
Small, yeah.
It started over a port because the way I read it was that Crimea area. Is it that warm water port?
No, it
that has
started
that military
over NATO wanting to induct Ukraine.
No, but like in 2014, when they did that little coup thing, and then in that, was it Donbass? Where was the region with that warm water port? Because Russia...
You're talking Russia's special military activity or whatever the fuck they call it.
Whatever that port was.
That invasion of Crimea and its occupation.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where the little green men were running around, and those were the Russian soldiers that everyone thought were Russian soldiers. But that whole thing started, and when that started, it seemed like Russia had a deal for 100 years for that port, right? And when we tried to overthrow that government of Ukraine with that little coup thing, and like,
it wasn't a little coup thing. It was a major
coup
and successful coup.
Yes. But then you saw them go, they reneged on their contract and they said, this is not, we're taking away this port. And that's when Russia rolled out like a tank or like a machine gun and they set up kind of a block. And then it was some forces of Ukraine, probably funded by the U.S., starting to push back. There was a little bit of action conflict, wasn't huge. People came to fight it, but it wasn't that big, and it died down, right? Those same embers relit back in 2020 when Biden finally took over, and Russia was like, I'm, because we saw they were lining up the border for months.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like, oh, this is weird. Russia's just attacking Ukraine. It's like, no. You guys are finishing something off from 2014. So what started is this little thing.
I think it's kind of a separate issue almost.
It rolls over.
This very specifically is about the induction of the Ukraine into NATO.
Yeah, but it's gotten hotter. It's gotten hotter, and it's gotten hotter with them pushing harder in 2020 in the Biden regime compared to 2016 in the Trump.
Yes.
They're pushing it harder and harder.
Right,
What
which
started
is
as
why
a little conflict between Ukraine and Russia.
I think we're saying the same thing.
Yeah, it's just gotten funded more and more. So it's like, what are you going to see now that are firsts?
Sorry, George's messing with the mixer board.
I'm trying to turn you guys up.
I thought you were trying to turn it down.
Hear.
It's like, shut up.
Sorry, what was the question?
So it's like, what else are you going to see that are first? You saw a minor thing get blown into a big thing, right? You've seen what was just when that started and we gave them aid. It's like, this is for helmets and vests to protect people. This isn't for F-16 and intercontinental missiles. Flash to F-16s and intercontinental missiles.
Yeah.
And then it's like drone warfare and hypersonic missiles. And it's like, it just keeps escalating with firsts.
And it's a little bit of like, this is for you guys to filter back to us. Little this, little that.
Yeah.
I wonder if, with the Trump administration coming in, if they do broker a peace deal, is Zelensky fucked? Like, does he know that, like, he's got about 18 months left to live? They'll wait till things kind of calm down a little bit, and then the Russian mafia will make him disappear.
Someone will take him. Or he seeks asylum somewhere.
In the U.S.?
U.S.
maybe.
somewhere, maybe.
Yeah. In which case, whoever got Epstein will take care of him.
Yeah. Yeah. What if he ends up becoming like some reality TV show host?
Hey,
and
it's
the next
Zelensky hour.
Yeah.
Picking up chicks. Dude, it'd be awesome. Like, do you remember that show, Breaking Bonaducci? Mm-hmm. Remember, it was like...
He ends up being on Dancing with the Stars and shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, my God.
But like Breaking Bonaducci was good because it's like he was a washed up actor, and they're like, "Hey, we heard you have a drinking problem. We want to record you." And he's like, "Roger that."
Jesus.
And it made for the best reality TV. Maybe he'll just become a dirtball. He's like, "I did so much stuff.
Yeah.
I can't live." I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think he'd seek asylum somewhere else.
You think people who run countries like that should have to just stay where they're at? Like that, if you become anything above a mayor.
Oh, yeah. If you're the
You
mayor,
should have to
you got to go down with the ship.
Well, no, I'm saying anything above the mayor. Like, I don't want to necessarily live in the same town for the rest of my life. Mm-hmm. But if you're like, what's right above a mayor?
County
a
council?
Senator or council member or, okay. Well, whatever that ends up being, you should have to live in that city for the rest of your life.
Oh, for the rest, I don't know. Did you know our governor, who has completely fucked this state over, is moving to Idaho in his retirement?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why it's like, you fucking
Piece of shit.
cocksucker. Yeah. Dude, I mean, that's
Zelensky
so I'm
refuge
thinking,
in
but that's
Idaho.
what I mean. Like, you shouldn't be able to seek refuge somewhere else. It's like, you need to go down with the ship.
Yeah, but if you're...
Go fuck yourself.
What if you're a good politician?
You sent so many people to
You're
their
not-
death. Time for you to fucking face the fucking...
Yeah. But
the
I mean,
trumpets.
Yeah, but if you're a good politician, you do good things, and you're like,
And
I
guess
love
what?
spearfishing,
And you
I
get to
wanna
stay
move
there.
to Australia.
You don't get to move.
It
You
would
get to
be-
go on
It would be
trips.
fun if you got to take like randomly half of the Senate and just slap them in helmet and body armor and say, hey, the next 30 days you guys are on the front line in Syria.
Draft.
You guys get it.
Next year we'll grab a couple other randos
At random,
out of the
yeah.
house. Yeah.
We're gonna put it in this big old hat. We're gonna pull out of this, a big helmet.
Dude,
So
what's a guy?
it'd be like Kill Tony.
What's the guy that keeps freezing up? Mitch McConnell.
Oh yeah.
Wouldn't it be crazy if like he went to war? Like, could you imagine the GoPro footage of that guy just like walking out into a war zone freezing with that frog chin hanging over?
Makes it through untouched.
Yeah, dude.
Just Mr. Magoo's his way all the way through it. Fucking go.
He beat Russia.
Not a scratch on him.
Shoots somebody super important, stops the war. It's like, that wasn't so hard.
Good job, Mitch.
Oh my god.
Comes back.
G.I. Joe Mitch figure starts selling off the shelves.
Yeah, I'm with Mitch.
Yeah.
Fucking
Shit.
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean,
Mitch the Glitch. Is that what they call him?
that's awesome.
That's what they should call him.
I don't know if it would be good to send politicians to war. I mean, I think it would be good.
It would.
Like,
They would.
You know, it'd be good. Make them be an ammo runner, like on the front line, because you don't want them taking shots that you need accuracy and they're fucking it up and they're screwing things. But you want them right there to know what it's like.
Well,
because if you're
you
voting
want
on these
their
things
life to
happen,
be pushed. Like, you want their life on the line. Is what it comes
an
down
ammo
to.
I want
runner
him.
would
I
be
want him in a
good.
foxhole.
Yeah. If you're running ammo, you're gonna have to hop in that foxhole and
And out of
resupply
it.
that machine gun. Yeah.
So then, how many of your 19-year-old machine gunners' lives rely on fucking Mitch McConnell getting him an extra box of ammo?
Yeah, how many snipers are relying on it? Though,
Well, they send two, but they send him just as he doesn't have to carry anything. He just has to run next to somebody.
dude, sniper Mitch McConnell. It's like he hasn't moved in 108 hours. This guy is dedicated.
Yeah, dude. He's just been shitting himself the whole time.
He does that even when he's home.
He's been training.
Dedication to the craft. Yeah.
Mitch the glitch, dude. I love it. Oh shit, dude. I don't know. World War III would be, but
See, I hate to like romanticize war, but
I'm doing
the war I want to do is a little bit more Wolverine. I'd be screaming Neanderthals.
You want a war that's brought to your front door.
A little more.
That's how I know.
You're looking a little more
War III.
1987.
That's how I'm gonna be able to fight, right?
Your
Like,
1987 body is trapped in 2024.
no, what I'm saying is, basically, like
get a war bikini.
I'm just my thought. It'd be way easier for me to like go to fight somebody if they were here. It'd be way more convenient.
Yeah, of course. Anything that's
no
here is convenient. It's
But
not over there.
I mean, that's
They're in Marysville, huh? Do you think they could come to could they come to Lake Stevens?
the warrior spirit of this guy. It's like, dude, the terrorists, they're here. We're like, here? No, down the street. Let's wait till they get here.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna ambush them. That's my plan, is to ambush.
Oh shit, dude. I don't know. I mean, World War II, they did get the draft hit so hard. I do think they were recruiting older people.
I think 32 or 36 was the cutoff.
36.
Yeah,
Still pretty good.
2 years
really?
left. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's still a chance, little buddy.
Yeah.
You can be all you can be.
Yeah, dude. In the
No, dude, I'm setting up an ambush. You can't take me.
Yeah.
What about when they get here? I can't go there.
Look, guys.
Dude, you're the first guy to go to war. That's like an episode of Seinfeld. It's like, why are we fighting here? What is here?
Yeah. What does that mean?
Yeah. It's over there.
Yeah, the dirt's the same. Yeah, I don't know. I obviously like, I just feel like with social media and everything, it's kind of, people are starting to think more about that than they ever have.
It's good.
You look at some of the old protests and people were obviously against war, but that was like the fringe element. And I feel like the mass majority of Americans are against war.
Yeah.
So even if whatever's happening over there, if all of a sudden America didn't get drug into it, because obviously we're in it right now.
Yeah.
But if it became like American lives, that's where people start getting a little bit more amped up to go do something about it.
Yeah, I mean,
but up until that point, I feel like everybody's like, let's just calm down. Let's just calm down. We'll have the last say is what we want, but everybody calm down. But if we were to get hit, people would be like, let's calm down.
Fuck it.
Well, let me hit you back.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get what's coming.
Yeah.
But then we'll calm down. Like, I don't know what that looks like when you're talking nuclear war is fucking crazy.
See, but that's why I think this is such a weird conversation or a good one to have, is because it seems like everything post World War II was about like getting rid of the nuclear stuff. Like, we had the whole.
What do you mean? It was a nuclear arms race.
But that's what I mean. We armed ourselves so much to be like, oh, this guy can't beat us, and then this guy can't beat us. So we need this much more, so he can't beat us. And then the other team needs more. And then they got to a point where the world had billions of fucking nukes. But then it was about, hey, let's de-arm. Let's de-escalate. Let's beat the Cold War.
If everybody
we don't
had
have
nukes,
to worry about
if everybody
war.
had nukes, do you think the world would be a safer place?
No. Somewhere out there, you'd have a loose cannon.
Look at fucking...
and it would be much easier to smuggle them around.
Look at ISIS. ISIS rose to power
Yeah.
due to the leftovers of our destruction. And it's like, could a country... What if they
What if we had
overthrew the
nukes
big
in
government?
North Iraq?
Yeah.
Or when we fled Kabul, what if we had nukes in Afghanistan?
Yeah.
But that was the idea of mutual assured destruction. Like,
That's kind of what I'm getting at, is like,
Yeah.
when the most polite society is an armed one.
But we got to a point where it's like people aren't being polite to other countries. There's pushing.
But people are pushing countries that don't have their capabilities.
If
everybody
we're pushing a country that has lots of capabilities is the thing, though. And it's like that mutual assured destruction. We were the only two people to worry about during all of this is Russia and the United States. Only recently has China and other countries joined having nuclear arms. But it was us and Russia were the two because of the space race in World War II and the push for technology. But we've gotten to a point, so it's like the two people that are supposed to be only ones talking about this or worried about it, and we both agree that the other person has it, we're flexing, we're putting pressure on and trying to do it to a point where I do think Russia sees NATO as a direct threat, absolutely, and the expansion of Western culture, government. I think it's more than just like power and control. It's what they think the idea of like morals are. And I think China, all these post-communism countries left over from World War II, they got the money, they got the resources, and it's like, why do we push this so hard? We should be talking more or trying to de-escalate.
Yeah, we should be becoming business partners, not enemies.
Yeah. Except if they hit us first, and then you get Mike on a first-class ticket on a red eye coming over. I'm going to be well slept, ready to
put me on the
fight.
beach, boys.
I'll take a Southwest.
Southwest Airlines.
Show up the recruiter's office.
Where are you going to war?
Yeah. you know who I am. Yeah. Kozak's the name.
Yeah. No, I don't need to have a ticket. Just get me there.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I feel this is important to do now because, like I said, the change of power to Trump is inauguration is soon, right? Yes. And in that time that's left over, we have a president apparently that is allowing us to get closer and closer to a nuclear war for a country that it doesn't seem he's running it, but also he hates the other guy. He said the other guy's Hitler, democracy's dead. So then why not crush it all? Like, fuck that party over on the way out.
Yeah, but I mean, we've said it a long time. Like, he's not running the show.
That's what I mean.
So what happens with those people? Who are those people? And are they going to be out?
I mean, that's the weird thing, because Trump's the one guy that they're talking about dismembering so much parts of government. What is this thing? What is this? Like the military industrial complex, I think, is this. What is it? Well, it's a bunch of manufacturers. It's a bunch of people that provide equipment to go and use these things in other areas. It's lobbyists that help influence wars politically. So it's like all of these moving pieces. And so to have someone be like, I want to investigate what these moving pieces are for transparency, it's like, oh, what do we do here? How do we preserve our power still? That's why it's like, ooh, this is interesting. What the power that's still, the dying power that still has power, what will they do with it in the next 30 to 40?
Do you think that nation states are going to be phased out over the next 50 years and will enter some sort of like corporate oligarchy type situation?
Like, yeah.
We're already kind of there where corporate interests control the politicians. So really the government is it's a facade.
Yeah, I mean, I could see us going there, like in a I don't think it should be that way. I don't think it's a good thing. Like, I think truly an open market with transparency a little bit more. I do think that's certain things that crypto offers us with like blockchain and accountability and tracking. Like, you have to determine what your wealth is based off of, but for allocating wealth and trying to keep track of it in currencies, you know, I do think everything's peer-to-peer, a decentralized anything, a decentralized government, a decentralized banking. You know, I think, I don't know. And that's what I do think, like, the free market is. That's what evolution is. That's what all these things that are based off of by allowing random chance and people gathering towards success and running from failure is. Crypto.
Yeah.
Is that World War III, boys?
I think that's it.
Yeah.
It feels like we're running out of gas here.
Yeah, I was kind of.
Jordan was dazed.
I was over here. I started. Yeah.
Anytime. You're good.
I'm over here thinking about, you know.
I'm long-winded.
Yeah.
A lot of time to not
Voter
get to
ID
a
is what I was thinking about the whole time. I was just like, man, you believe this shit? But yeah. See you next time.